You crack the can open before your feet even hit the floor. Not coffee, not water. A cold can of something neon, something that promises focus, energy, momentum. And you tell yourself, this is just how mornings work now. And by the end of this video, you're going to find out exactly what that can is doing to your heart, your hormones, and the version of you standing in a mirror 5 years from today. Because there are two very different people you could become, and only one of them is still drinking these every morning. It's 6:42 a.m. You're standing in your kitchen, the fridge humming, the light outside still that flat gray blue before sunrise. You didn't sleep enough. You never really do. You reach for the fridge door out of muscle memory, and there it is. The can, sweating slightly from the cold, waiting exactly where you left it last night so you wouldn't have to think in the morning. No eggs, no oatmeal, no plan for food until lunch maybe. Just this. You crack it open. That hiss. That first cold, sharp, almost chemical sweet taste hitting the back of your throat. Within minutes, your shoulders drop half an inch. Your brain sharpens. The fog lifts just enough to answer that first Slack message, to remember your 9 a.m., to feel like a person again. This is night 1, technically, the first morning of a habit you don't know you're starting. Here's what's actually happening inside you right now, underneath the buzz. Your body runs on a stress response system called the HPA axis, a relay between your brain and your adrenal glands. Normally, it switches on when something real threatens you. A near miss on the highway, a deadline you're about to blow, a loud noise in the dark. Your hypothalamus signals your pituitary gland, your pituitary signals your adrenals, and your adrenals release cortisol, the hormone that sharpens focus, floods you with energy, and gets you ready to fight or run. It's supposed to be occasional, a spike, then a return to baseline. Caffeine doesn't wait for a real threat. It walks straight into that system and flips the switch itself, manufacturing urgency your body never asked for. Your adrenal glands respond like something is actually wrong, because as far as your nervous system is concerned, something is. You just call it focus. A week in, and the can isn't a treat anymore. It's infrastructure. You've started keeping a backup in your bag, another in the office fridge, because the one morning you forgot, you spent until 10 a.m. feeling like your brain was wrapped in wet cotton. There's a specific kind of tired that isn't sleepy. It's staticky, foggy, slightly nauseous. And you've started calling that just needing my can, without noticing you're describing withdrawal. Here's something most people never hear about the can itself. Research shows that a caffeine dose roughly equal to 2 or 3 cups of coffee, well within range of a single strong energy drink, measurably raises your stress hormones, and that elevation can stay in your system for up to 2 hours after you drink it. Not a burst. A window. 2 hours of your body running a low-grade emergency it invented for you before your first meeting even starts. And there's something more dangerous than the caffeine that nobody mentions on the can. A stacked effect you're about to find out is doing more damage than the ingredient list makes it sound. A month in, and the mornings have a rhythm now. Can, shower, half answer some emails, out the door. You've noticed you're not really hungry until early afternoon anymore. The can seems to do that. Kill the appetite along with the fog. You've told yourself that's a bonus. One less thing to think about. What you haven't noticed, the small tremor in your hand around 11 a.m., right as the first can wears off. The way your jaw feels tight by 3 p.m. The second can you've started reaching for, not because you need the boost, but because you're scared of what happens if you don't have it. Be honest for a second. How many mornings this month have started with your hand reaching for that can before your eyes were even fully open? Before you'd checked the time? Before you'd thought about anything else at all? That's not a routine anymore. That's a reflex. And here's the callback to what you learned earlier. Remember those 2 hours your stress hormones stay elevated after just one dose? Now you're not doing that once. You're doing it 2, sometimes 3 times a day, every single weekday, which means your body is rarely, if ever, coming back down to its actual baseline. It's living in that low-grade emergency almost constantly. A year in, and something's shifted that you can't caffeine your way out of. You're tired in a new way. A bone-deep, can't-shake-it tired that a fresh can barely dents anymore. You need more just to feel like you did on day 1. Your resting heart rate, if you bothered to check it, sits a little higher than it used to. Some mornings your heart does this fluttery thing in your chest for a few seconds, and you tell yourself it's nothing, you're just stressed, you didn't sleep well. And maybe that's true, and maybe it isn't. A recent review pulling together dozens of cardiovascular studies on energy drinks found that a clear majority of them recorded measurable increases in heart rate and blood pressure after consumption, along with changes in the heart's electrical rhythm that show up on an EKG, even in otherwise healthy young adults. Not in extreme cases. In ordinary people, drinking these the ordinary way you are right now. Your body has been sending you signals for months. The jitters that don't fully go away anymore. The 3 p.m. jaw clench. The way your sleep feels thinner, even on nights you get a full 8 hours, because your nervous system never quite exits high alert. This is the tipping point most people scroll right past. The moment your body stops asking politely and starts insisting. Coffee mornings used to feel optional. Now the thought of skipping the can, even for one day, makes your chest tighten a little. That's worth sitting with. Coffee jitters are common. Getting a fluttering heartbeat and calling it normal, for months, usually isn't. So, coffee jitters are common. Getting a fluttering heartbeat and calling it normal, for months, usually isn't. Try answering this honestly, just for yourself, right now, tonight. Which version of you are you actually on track to become? Because from here, there are 2 very different roads. Scenario A, you keep going. The cans stay in the fridge, the routine stays exactly the same. Because it works, because it's easier than figuring out an alternative. A year becomes 3. The tolerance keeps climbing. What used to take 1 can now takes 2, just to feel like a functioning person by 9 a.m. Your resting heart rate creeps up a little more. That fluttery feeling in your chest stops being occasional and starts showing up weekly, then a few times a week. You start avoiding stairs you used to take without thinking, telling yourself you're just out of shape, not connecting it to the can in your hand every morning. Eventually, a routine physical turns up something worth a second look. Elevated blood pressure, an irregular rhythm on the EKG, and the doctor asks the question you've been avoiding. How much caffeine are you actually taking in every day? You do the math for the first time, out loud, and the number surprises even you. Scenario B, you catch it here. Not a dramatic quit, not cutting it off cold turkey and white-knuckling through a week of headaches. You start smaller. A real breakfast first, something with actual protein, before the can, instead of it. You cut back to 1 can, then push the first one later, 9 or 10 a.m. instead of 6:45. Within a couple of weeks, that stress hormone window from earlier, the one that used to run through most of your morning, starts shrinking back towards something closer to normal. The jaw clench eases. The jitters fade. It takes a few months, but your resting heart rate settles back down, and the fluttering in your chest becomes something you remember instead of something you feel. You still enjoy an energy drink sometimes, but now it's a choice you're making, not a reflex your body makes for you before you're even fully awake. 2 versions of the same morning. 2 versions of you, 5 years apart, and the only thing that separates them is what's in your hand tomorrow at 6:42 a.m. This isn't about never touching a can again. It's about noticing the difference between reaching for something because you want it and reaching for it because you're scared of what happens if you don't. Tomorrow morning, before you open that fridge, just pause for 1 second. Ask yourself which version of this story you're actually writing. If you're finding it hard to cut back on caffeine or energy drinks and it's affecting your health, a doctor or healthcare provider can help you build a plan that actually works for your body.